So this is a bone stock Audi R8 V10 Plus, and today we're going to be leveling up the looks and the sounds of this car. So some of you guys might be thinking, this is an Audi R8, Nathan, how are you going to make it look better? Well, that's what these parts are for. So around me is the TRE carbon body kit, consisting of front splitter, side skirts, rear diffuser, carbon wing mirror caps, and we're also going to be fitting some BIMX spacers to improve the stance. The factory paddle shifters on the R8 are not great, so we're going to be upgrading them with these magnetic shifters as well. This splitter is super easy to install, literally around a 15-minute job. So we're going to give it a quick test fit to make sure the splitter's all good first and just get it into place. And that is looking perfect.
Yep.
All good?
Yeah, all good.
Let's get a little bit of 3M tape now and we'll prep along the top line of the splitter and then get the bolts mounted underneath.
Sounds good.
Let's go. So we're just using a little alcohol wipe to prep the surface because this part is going to have some 3M tape applied to it. What you got there then, Kai?
So this is the adhesive wipe. Just help the 3M stick a lot better. Just apply it on all the surface the 3M is going to be sitting on.
So we're just running a line of the 3M tape across the lower lip part of the vehicle now. The reason why we're applying the 3M tape to the lower part of the bumper rather than the splitter is because it will make it a little bit easier to remove and just get everything into place a bit nicer. Well, that actually looks all right, Kyle. It looks like pinstripe.
Oh yeah, I'll pinstripe the whole car, mate.
If anyone wants pinstripe doing on their car, just drop this bloke a message. He can come round and do pinstripes. It's like what Yanamais used to do.
Pinstripes?
They used to do the Tron stripes, yeah. If you want Tron stripes, just give Kai a message.
Give you a top tech tip.
Top tech tip.
Tech tip top. Just peel just one of the corners back a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is just get some masking tape, stick it there. So when we line up the splitter, we still have a bit of movement instead of just trying to stick it in one go.
That's a beautiful tip, Kai.
Beautiful tip top tech.
Top tic tac tech tip.
Tic tac. Wash.
I'm into place.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do a bit of peely peely.
I'm gonna do a bit of peeling.
So the front splitter is now provisionally installed. We're just going to get some under-mounting bumper hardware fitted now. Oh yeah, that sounds well professional.
What did you just say?
Under-mounting bumper hardware.
Oh, you're professional.
We're going to get some rivets underneath it that will secure the splitter to make sure that it's steady and it's not coming off at whatever speed you want to do in the vehicle. So the front splitter is all installed with the rivets underneath, as you can see now.
Gonna give it a little tug test just to make sure.
Yeah?
Sure it's solid. Oh mate, that is not.
You could hang off the front
of that. You could, 200 mile an hour, that's staying on.
So Kai, what do you want to get started with next?
I think next, we get the diffuser on. Hello mate.
Oh, hello.
Nath, I think it's time we get started on this rear diffuser.
Yeah, let's go. So to actually install the rear diffuser, what we're going to have to do is remove the wheels and the arch liners. That's going to give us a bit of access to get behind some clips and bolts to pull this diffuser out. The tips are also mounted to the rear diffuser, so we're going to have to remove the tips from the factory diffuser so then we can then transfer them into the new diffuser, which is over there. Just removing the last wheel arch now, and behind that we've got a heat shield, which we're also going to have to remove, and that is going to give us the access.
And we're off.
And heat shield's off, Kai's just done his as well. And now the rear diffuser is coming off. It's time to get the new one on, Kai.
Come on in.
So we've just transferred the old tips onto the new diffuser and they just bolt in with these bolts here. So as you guys would have seen, Kai has whipped off the whole rear bumper. That's going to make it a little bit easier to actually fit the diffuser. And whilst we're here, Kai, what else are we going to be doing?
So now I'm going to start stripping all the parts necessary to get the exhaust off. So I know we've got to take out rear lights, crash bar, heat shield, intakes. And yeah, then we should be able to pop the exhaust off, ready for the new Milltek one to go on.
Yes, I'll show you guys the Milltek very shortly. That hasn't been delivered yet, but it's going to be going on the car very soon. So now Kai's going to crack on getting all of this stuff removed, ready for the new exhaust to be fitted, and then the rear bumper and the other parts are off over here, ready to fit the new diffuser and the other bits. It's going to be a lot easier to actually install that diffuser and the bumpers off as well. As you can see down here, here is all of the stuff that have been removed from the car already. And one thing which Kai's done, which is pretty smart, is these aren't all coffees what he's been drinking. Every single one of these parts are parts which have been removed from the car, and they're all labelled up, so nothing is getting lost. These cars are incredibly long-winded to work on, so you need to make sure you work like this or things are going to go missing.
So as you can see, first light has been removed. I'm going to crack on getting the other light off, and then I'm going to get started on the crash bar. So crash bar's now off, rear lights are off, which is giving me access to start removing these heat shields, and then I'll be up top making a start on getting the air boxes out. So as you can see, the intakes are now all removed. We need to do this to gain access to the V-band clamps that are holding the exhaust on. And now we are nearly ready to take the exhaust off. All we've got to do is undo them clamps, undo a few exhaust hangers, and then a few torque screws for this last heat shield, and then get this rotated out the way. And then we should be ready to pop the exhaust off. So the exhaust is now removed. The car is looking a little bit sorry for itself. All that's left now is to remove the heat shield off the exhaust. But before I do that, I've just popped it on the scales, because this heat shield will transfer over to the new one. So I thought I'd give an accurate before and after of how much they weigh. This stock one is 39.5 kg, which is a lot. So not only will this customer be gaining a lot more sound, hopefully should be saving quite a bit of weight once the new Milltek one goes on. So now it's time to put the side skirt on. What I've done is underneath there's plastic push clips. What I do is I just pop out the middle of the push clip, then once this skirt is on, use all them OEM holes to put a bigger metal rivet through, and then it'll be nice and secure.
So the carbon side skirt's all fitted. It's now time to get rid of this gloss back mirror and replace it with a nice new carbon one.
So first you need to take the glass out, because there's two screws that are actually holding this mirror cover in. Mirror cover's now popped off, let's get the carbon one on. So this literally just slots in the same way, two brackets for the screws. Let's pop that back on.
So the mirror cover has been replaced, but now luckily the new exhaust has just turned up, so we're going to start with getting the exhaust on. So here is the new Milltek OPF-Back system, which has just been put on the scales now. As Kai showed earlier, he did actually weigh the stock exhaust with the OPFs on, and this is weighing in at 27.8 kg, which is around a 10 kg weight saving, which is really nice. What we're also going to be installing is the Milltek valve controller. Essentially what this does is it gives you some buttons to manually control the valves, and you can open and shut the valves just on the button system, which is really handy. This system won't be massively loud, but it'll make the R8 sound how it should have from factory. So the rear bumper is now back on, and before we put the rest of it all together, we need to fit this valve controller. This valve controller goes inside this wheel arch where it's mounted, and it connects to the valves of that exhaust, and that will allow you to open and close the exhaust on a push of a button. The Milltek valve controller is mounted hidden away just up here inside the wheel arch, so it's well out of the way of everything. So we've just started up the car to give the valve controller a little check, and you can actually see the valve here, just there. As I'm opening that, that's moving, and as I'm shutting that, that's now shutting. You can hear the audible difference as well. So now the valve controller's all installed, we're getting the rear diffuser on, the tips have been bolted in already.
So as you can see, the rear diffuser is all mounted up, all bolted on. We are now going to get in the heat shields, arch liners, and then hopefully get the car on the floor. Before we do that, we're going to be putting on some wheel spacers as well, then get the car on the floor, and then we've got some paddle shifters to fit as well.
Let's go. So the car is now complete other than the steering wheel paddles, so we're going to get them swapped out now, and then we'll show you the finished product. So the R8 is now completed. Let's roll into some cinematics to show you guys what this car looks like now, and then we'll show you what it sounds like.
I took my drugs and took my loving when I left out the spot. I left the party with the Barbie marking X on the dot. She calls my phone up, but I told her I'm a loner. But she likes my watch and my drop top and my persona. We hit the highway 155 with my whole foot on the dash. She's in my ear, she's got no fare. She could care less if we crash. But on my radar, I've got some nerve to play hard. I waited for my...
So now let's show you what the Milltek OPF-Back exhaust system sounds like. This is the valve controller. This is going to allow us to make the car louder and quieter. Louder, quieter. So as you guys can hear, it now sounds a lot better. Also, a lovely change is these magnetic paddles. So the R8 before had these tiny little paddles. We replaced them with the TRE ones. These ones you can opt for a bigger paddle like we have done. So here, these are the larger paddles. The nice thing about these, they're actually magnetic. So when you go through the gears, you get a lovely sensation, which is really nice on the occasion that you are going to use the paddles. Most of the time people just drive around in the auto mode. So when you are driving with the manual paddles, it's a very positive sensation when shifting. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. This was more of an update of what we're currently working on at the moment, like a little mini vlog. If you've got an Audi R8 or any other car, as a matter of fact, and you want to take it up a level, use code YouTube5 on the AUTOID store. There'll be a load of products on there available for your vehicle, and we can get you hooked up. We can take it to the next level. And thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you next Sunday.